My name is Dr. Samreena, lecturer, Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics. Today, I am here to take a class on vertical root fracture. Specific learning objective. I hope by this end of this lecture, one should be able to know what is vertical root fracture and how do you differentiate from other type of tooth fractures. To understand the etiology and pathogenesis of vertical root fracture, to know the clinical signs and symptoms and radiographic findings to detect the vertical root fracture, and also to know the various treatment options and preventive strategies to reduce the risk of vertical root fractures. These are the contents I'll be talking about. Before we begin with vertical root fracture, let us learn the terms of different types of other fracture. Here, first you can see a crease line. It is nothing but a visible fracture lines within the enamel. Next comes the fracture cusp. It terminates in the cervical part of the tooth. Cracked tooth, it extends from the occlusal surface without any separation of tooth fragments. Split tooth, it is nothing but a separated tooth fragments. And about the vertical root fracture, we'll see in detail now. Introduction. Vertical root fracture, it is a longitudinally oriented fractures of the root which originate from the apex and propagate to the coronal part. It is considered as one of the challenging conditions in endodontics because of its varied etiological factors and clinical presentations and difficulty in early diagnosis. If you see in this picture, you can see a fracture of the root that originate at the apex and it is propagating to the coronal part. Coming to the definitions, according to the American Academy of Endodontics, it is defined as a complete or incomplete fracture initiated from the root at any level, usually directed buccolingually. Prevalence. The vertical root fracture is commonly associated with the root-filled teeth than teeth with vital pulp. In a study that is done by Yoshino et al., it was found that 31.7% of the teeth were extracted because of vertical root fracture, out of which 93.6% of the teeth were root-filled teeth. Incidence. The occurrence, it is around 3 to 5%. Usually, it is seen in older patients in the posterior teeth, age group above 40 years. Vertical root fractures are commonly detected in the buccolingual plane and it is less common in a mesiodistal plane. Classifications. Vertical root fractures, it is classified based on the separation of the fragments as complete and incomplete. Based on the relative position of fracture to the alveolar crust, it is classified as supraosseous and intraosseous. What are the common causes for vertical root fracture? Endodontic treatment. That is because of over-prepared access. Sometimes there will be excess dentin removal during the cleaning and shaping procedures. Roots which are having narrow mesiodistal diameter, they are more prone to fractures. Example, the roots of premolars, mesiobuccal root of maxillary molars, mandibular incisors, these are more prone to fractures. Excess hand pressure during lateral or vertical compaction of gutta percha during obturations can result in the development of vertical root fractures. Next comes the placement of post or pins, weakening of the tooth structure that occurs during the post-paste preparations. Tapered and threaded posts, generally they produce the highest root fracture incidence. The fracture with a tapered post, it occurs at the coronal third, whereas in parallel post, the fracture is seen at the apical third of the root. Other reasons could be parafunctional habits like bruxism, clunching, restorative treatment that is extensively restored teeth, pathological fracture that includes a resorption induced. What are the pathogenesis of vertical root fracture? As the vertical root fracture, they reaches the periodontal ligament. What happens is the soft tissue, they grow into the fracture spaces. They increases the separation of the fracture segments. The fracture, it will create a path to the oral cavity via gingival sulcus. This is how the microbial infections occurs. The bacteria, they gain entry into the fracture area and they are going to trigger an inflammatory response. As a result, there will be a breakdown of periodontal ligament and there will be a progressive bone loss occurs, which particularly severe in thin buccal bone plate, and there will be a formation of granulation tissues. What are the early manifestations? The patients can present with pain or discomfort on the affected side of the teeth. Sensitivity upon chewing. Pain, it is of dull in nature. Diagnosis of vertical root fracture. As I said, vertical root fracture, they pose a diagnostic challenge because the fracture line may not be visible as long as it has not extended to the cervical region. Early radiographic detection, it is also difficult. So, diagnosis of vertical root fracture that include a detailed history of the patient's clinical signs and symptoms, various clinical examinations, radiographs and surgical explorers. Surgical explorations, we'll see each in details. Coming to the history, when a patient comes, thorough history should be taken, including the age of the patient's, gender, involved teeth, locations, history of previous dental treatment, any history of pain, swelling, presence of a sinus tract, mobility or any history of post placement or is there any restoration dislodgement. What are the clinical features of vertical root fractures? Pain and swelling due to the local chronic inflammations in response to the infections, palpations that shows swelling and tenderness over the root itself. There will be an isolated, narrow, deep periodontal pockets and mobility, presence of sinus or multiple sinus. It is a pathognomonic feature of vertical root fracture. What are the clinical diagnostic tests? Bite test with the help of a tooth sleuth, rubber wheels, cottonwood sticks can be used to reproduce the pain on chewing. Direct visualization, it is done with a good illuminations and a microscope. The fracture may be directly viewed by examining the remaining tooth structure when there is a excess coronal structure is lost or when crown has been dislodged. A sharp probe may aid in identifying a fracture line where separation has not occurred. Coming to the trans-illumination test. The curing light which we use for composites, light that is nothing but a fiber optic light, can be used to visualize a crack. So the fractured segments, they appear darker as light is reflected at the crack, reducing its transmissions through the tooth. Next comes the periodontal probing test. Probing with the help of a periodontal probe, it reveals a narrow isolated periodontal defect in the gingival attachment. Tracing the sinus tract, if there is any presence of sinus, then Gattaparcha or Explorer can be used to trace the sinus back to its origin. Pulp testing. Pulp testing that is helpful in diagnosis of vertical root fracture as fracture line may extend to the pulp which will cause pulpal inflammations and necrosis. Diagnostic informations may be obtained when patient complains of sharp sudden pain, usually while chewing. Staining. The use of disclosing dye helps the clinician to visualize a suspected crack. Once the restoration has been removed, the dye can be placed in the inner aspects of the cavity to visualize a crack. Next comes the radiographic evaluations. J-shaped lesions or a hollow like bone loss, it's a clinical sign of vertical root fracture. Other radiographic findings that includes existing of the fracture line, separated root fragments and a space beside the root fillings. Here in this picture, in this radiographic picture, you can appreciate there is a separation of root fragments. And here you can see a fracture line along the root. There is a space beside a root filling. Here you can see radiographically there is a widening of the pedial space. Even here you can see there is a widening of the periodontal ligament space. There is a space beside a post. So double images are seen when there is a separation of the fracture in a direction other than parallel to the X-ray beam. There will be overlapping of this fracture. This will appear as a double image on the external surface of the root. Here you can see there is an isolated horizontal bone loss in the posterior teeth. Here you can see unexplained bifurcation bone loss. It might occur without any periapical or periodontal diseases. Cone beam computerized tomography. As we know, CBCT that gives a three-dimensional view of the teeth. It helps in diagnosing a vertical root fracture by showing the segments of fragments as a radiolucent line when multiple slices are taken. Early destructions of the bone along the suspected fracture may be visible in the cancellous bone relatively early stages. These may not appear in periapical radiograph. Such bone resorptions may help to establish a vertical root fracture diagnosis at the earliest. Surgical exposure. Once vertical root fracture that is suspected clinically and radiographically, then surgical exposure can help in definitive diagnosis. After soft tissue retraction, visualization of the fracture line, probing over the fracture line can confirm the vertical root fracture. Coming to the management, prevention, it is a key for managing the vertical root fracture, as the treatment of vertical root fracture is very difficult and it is dependent on the type of teeth as well as its extent, durations and the location of fracture. So in case of multi-rooted teeth, it can often be successfully treated by resecting the fractured root either by root amputations or hemisections. The prognosis for posterior teeth, sometimes it is good if you are able to remove the entire segment in one entirety. Extraction, it might be indicated when the tooth is not suitable for restoration. Maybe the fracture line is below the alveolar crust. Usually anterior teeth, they show a poor prognosis. Then extraction might be the choice of treatment. Recently, the fractured segments are repaired with the help of biocompatible materials like biodentin, dual cure resins, glass ionomer cements or mineral trioxide aggregate. Use of carbon dioxide and NDR glazers have been used to fuse the fractured tooth roots. Although recent evidence suggests intentional reimplantations may be considered as a viable treatment options in specific cases. Contraindications to this technique include teeth with advanced periodontal disease, because there might be a fracture of teeth or root during the extraction if it is extensively restored. Prevention: avoid weakening of the canal wall during the biomechanical preparations. Minimize the internal wedging forces. Night guard can be used in a patient with bruxisms. The following points should be considered during and after endodontic therapy, like evaluate the teeth anatomy before making any treatment plan. Preserve as much as tooth structure as possible during the biomechanical preparations. Use only optimal forces during obturation for compaction of gutta percha. That means use less excessive pressure during the obturation. Use post and pins in cases where it is indicated. Use posts with passive fit as well as round edges so that the stress concentrations can be reduced. I would like to conclude by saying early diagnosis and periodontal status are the key factors in deciding the prognosis and management of vertical root fractures. A regular follow-up is required in order to evaluate the success of treatment and do the necessary alterations in the suggested treatment protocol whenever it is necessary. These are my references. Thank you.